This is Radio Nepal. I'm Kaushal Ghimire with the news. The headlines first. CPN-UML leader Devraj Ghimire and Nepali Congress leader Ishwari Nyupane filed candidacies for House Speaker post. Election for the new Speaker today. Cabinet directs ministries to submit list of priority works to be carried out to implement government's common minimum programs. French experts team begins field study on Yeti Airlines ATR aircraft crash in Pokhara, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says there are no accidents at wartime after 14 people killed in a helicopter crash in capital Kiev. Now the news in detail. Two candidates from the Nepali Congress and the CPN-UML have filed their candidacy for the election of the House Speaker. CPN-UML's House of Representatives member Devraj Ghimire, on behalf of the ruling coalition, registered his candidacy for the election of the Speaker at the Parliament Secretariat building in New Baneshwar. Leader Ghimire's candidacy is proposed by UML lawmaker Subhas Nemwang and backed by CPN Maui Centre's Chief Whip Hitraj Pandey, Rashtriya Swatantra Party Chair and Deputy Prime Minister Ravi Lamechhane, and Rashtriya Prajatantra Party Chair and Deputy Prime Minister Rajendra Lingden. Likewise, Nepali Congress leader Ishwari Devi Nyupane has registered her candidacy for the election of the Speaker at the Parliament Secretariat building. Leader Nyupane's candidacy is proposed by Party General Secretary Biswa Prakash Sharma and backed by CPN Unified Socialist leader Prakash Jwala. The Speaker's election will begin at 11 a.m. today. The Cabinet has directed all ministries to submit their list of works to be carried out in order to implement the coalition government's policies, priorities and common minimum programs. Talking to media persons after the Cabinet meeting yesterday, Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Vishnu Paudel said that the ministries were asked to submit their list of priority works within 7 days. Deputy Prime Minister Paudel further said the Cabinet designated Minister for Communications and Information Technology, Rekha Sharma, for the responsibility of the government's spokesperson. A 9-member expert team that arrived in Nepal from France on Tuesday has started a field study on the case of the Yeti Airlines ATR aircraft crash in Pokhara. The French expert team representing the ATR manufacturer took stock of the plane crash site and inquired about information from eyewitnesses and concerned stakeholders. Officials from the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, CAN, security personnel, and locals facilitated the field study to the French team. The plane with 72 passengers on board, including crew members, crashed on Sunday in Pokhara Seti Gorge. 71 bodies have been retrieved from the incident site, while search for the one missing body is still underway. British Ambassador to Nepal, Nicola Pollitt, paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dal Prachanda yesterday. The Prime Minister's Secretariat said Prime Minister Dahal and Ambassador Pollitt discussed various topics related to bilateral relations in the meeting held at Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar. Similarly, CPN-UML chairperson KP Sharma Oli yesterday met the Chinese ambassador to Nepal, Chen Song. During the meeting held at Oli's residence in Balkot, issues of bilateral relations and interest were discussed. Chairperson Oli welcomed Ambassador Chen to Nepal and wished him a successful tenure at the office. Likewise, the Chinese ambassador to Nepal, Chen, paid a courtesy call on National Assembly Chair Ganesh Prasad Timilsina yesterday. During the meeting held at Singh Durbar, National Assembly Chair Timilsina said Nepal and China had close relations since the establishment of diplomatic ties between the two neighbors. Meanwhile, the National Assembly Chair reiterated Nepal's commitment to the One China policy. On the occasion, Ambassador Chen expressed his happiness over the long cultural, mutual and diplomatic relations between Nepal and China, which are going smoothly irrespective of any political situation. Minister for Agriculture and Livestock Development, Jwala Kumari Shaha, has stressed the need for increasing exports. addressing a program organized by the Center for Crop Development and Agricultural Biodiversity Conservation yesterday. Minister Saha underscored adopting a policy for crop and biodiversity conservation in the country. The Supreme Court has issued an interim order for not undertaking or causing to undertake cable cars or any such physical construction projects along the Sikles Annapurna Conservation Area in Kaski district. A single bench of Judge Til Prasad Shrestha issued the order, stating the matter required to be concluded only after discussing with both parties due to its gravity and sensitivity. The interim order was issued by the Supreme Court in response to a writ petition filed by Advocate Padam Bahadur Shrestha. Nepal Telecom has said it is going to make systematic improvements to prevent the recurrence of mobile and PSTN telephone service interruption. The mobile and PSTN telephone service of the state-owned company has suffered interruption since Tuesday noon. Nepal Telecom issued a statement yesterday stating that due to the network congestion, customers had to face difficulties in exchanging calls for the time being. You're listening to Radio Nepal's 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. Time for a short break now.
भाउजू दर्शन
भाग्यमानी बाबु राम्ररी आइपुग्नु भयो नि
हजुर राम्ररी पुगे उ चाहिँ मेरो कलेजको बेस्ट फ्रेन्ड
नमस्ते भाउजू
नमस्ते आउनु न भित्रै
हुन्छ भाउजू
अनि दादा त अफिस गइसक्नु भयो होला है
उहाँ त बिहानै हो हुन्छ तपाईहरु फ्रेश हुँदै गर्नु न म खाना तयार गर्दै गर्छु है
हस् हस् भाउजू
ओए वाइफाई होला नि पासवर्ड माग्न
हे त पनि एनटीसी को सस्तो डे प्याक छदैछ नि
ए हो र
एनटीसी को डे प्याक लिन *1415# डायल गर्न
नेपाल टेलिकम राष्ट्रको सञ्चार.
You're listening to Radio Nepal's 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. Now on to some international updates. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said there are no accidents at wartime after 14 people died in a helicopter crash in the capital Kiev. Ukraine has not claimed Russian involvement. Zelensky told the World Economic Forum in Davos the tragedy was a consequence of the war. The Ukrainian Interior Minister died alongside several colleagues. Zelensky also used his video address to urge allies to quickly send more weapons before new Russian offensives. Jacinda Ardern has announced she will quit as New Zealand Prime Minister next month, saying she no longer has enough in the tank to lead. Ardern choked up as she detailed how 6 challenging years in the job had taken a toll. She will step down as Labour Party leader no later than 7th February. There will be a vote in the coming days to determine her replacement. New Zealand will hold a general election on 14th of October. 42-year-old Ardern said she had taken time to consider her future over the summer break. Now, the general weather forecast for the country for today, according to the Meteorological Forecasting Division. The weather will be partly to generally cloudy in Karnali Province and Sudar Pashchim Province and mainly fair in the rest of the country. There are also chances of light snowfall at 1 or 2 places in the eastern and western high mountainous regions of the country. With this, we have almost come to the end of this news bulletin. But before wrapping up, let's have a reminder of the headlines once again. CPNUML leader Debraj Khemire and Nepali Congress leader Ishwari Nupane filed candidacies for the House Speaker post. Election for the new Speaker today. Cabinet directs ministries to submit list of priority works to be carried out to implement government's common minimum programs. French experts team begins field study on Yeti Airlines ATR aircraft crash in Pokhara, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says there are no accidents at wartime after 14 people died in a helicopter crash in capital Kiev. Well, that's all the news we have for this bulletin. Our next bulletin in English will be at 2 in the afternoon. You can also listen to us online at our website www.onlineradionepal.gov.np. Keep listening to Radio Nepal and have a good day.